Okay, the next one. Who knows the technique for these ones? So asking the domain of the sum, difference, and the product. Bit of the notes, we know what they are. It doesn't matter whether it's a sum, difference, or the product, or the same technique. If I say, if you want to find the sum, or maybe what sum means, like f plus g. And difference means f minus g. And product means f times g. So any of these ones, if you want to find the domain, that equals to 1. Domain of the f intersected with the domain of the g. So looking at the intersection of them. It doesn't matter if they're asking the addition, subtraction, or the product. That should be on the notes, but yeah, check it out. Cool. Let's move on. I'm not going to go through these questions. You can do them for homework. Maybe a bit of composite. Haven't touched base recently in the classes as well, but composite. So this symbol is different actually. This has to be subset or equal to, not this one. Just cut that off. The typo. So what's the technique? If I just write one more time, if it is g dot f, which is, we talk about the range of f subset or equal to domain of g. So always it works as a cross. So if this is true, then you can say g dot f can be defined. Can be defined. All right, how about, so I reckon I need to go through these two because just in case I haven't touched base recently, can you do the question number 10 to start with? Try the number 10 first. Asking find the g dot f and restricted domain g dot f can be defined. To get these questions, maybe the first thing I like you to do, make a little table for the domain and range of the f and the g. So make a table, which is, I'll draw it here, you can complete. So just say this is your domain, that's your range, f and the g. First, fill up the table.
Sir,
Yes.
can you send the booklet on as a PDF on my email?
It's a
Because I don't
PDF.
have Word on my
It's a
iPad.
PDF. It's a PDF.
For me, it's just opening up
Probably you don't have the PDF in there then.
Microsoft 365. It's like
Okay,
a link, right?
yeah. The link is a PDF. Is that PDF link? And everyone else? Now Link said you can download it. Let me see. I can probably put a chat in here as a PDF as well. Yeah. Put a chat on the meeting. Yeah. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll sort that out. But meantime, so get the question. It's a larger file. That's why I put on the link. Then I just sent you on the chat. Did you get it? All right. How about the values? Who got the table? I mean, domains are given. I can write it down straight away. Domain for the f is all real numbers, and g is given as well, which is the 0 to infinity. How about the range? Look at the range for the f. Put on the chat if anyone did it. Range of f. What's f? F is a parabola, eh? So it's a -1 to infinity, same as the previous one. On these ones, you should know them. I'll do a bit faster. I'm not going to explain how to find the domain and range. I believe everyone knows how to do that. All right. That's the diagram. Then what's our plan? Find the G dot F. Let's write it down. So G dot F, which is the range of F subset are equal to domain of G. What's the range of F? -1 to infinity. Subset are equal to domain of G, 0 to infinity. Is that defined or not? Anyone? Can that be defined? Can you place all this section inside of here or not? No, really, isn't it? Because -1 means out of the, because this one says from 0 to infinity. So that's why the range of F cannot be fit within the domain of G. So it can't be a subset. So it's not a subset. What's the question asking them? So, definitely it is not defined. So at this stage, G dot F cannot be defined. But they're asking do some restrictions to make it defined. So what's the minimum condition in that case? Try to make this one exactly same as the domain of G, or maybe keep that part of the domain only. How about if I write my next step as this? Can this be defined? Minimum condition? You can. Because you can see it's the same value. It can be subset of O equals to. So you can see it's equal. In that case, what I changed here was I changed my range. So that's called the new range of F, which is what? 0 to infinity. Then based on that, I had to find the new domain of the F. So based on that, you have to find the new domain of the F. Let me draw the diagram. What's the F equation? F is like a parabola, so which is somewhere this graph. So how do you restrict my graph? How do you restrict to make it according to the given range? What's the range? 0 to infinity. So make sure keep only 0 to infinity on the range, which means what? Above the x-axis. So which is I'm going to keep this section of the graph. So this section of the graph. Cool. And then based on that, what's your domain? What are these values? This is 1 and this is -1. So what's the domain? Domain is -infinity up to -1. And do we include that? Yes, we do include it. Union with 1 to infinity. See? So if we had this range, and this is going to be the restricted domain. So if we had this domain, then G dot F can be defined. Okay, so note that down clearly. Is there any questions, anyone? We had done these questions before, maybe not recently. General, did you get the booklet now? Is that all good?
I still haven't got the email or thing,
I think I sent to the
but
chat, but I think you lost the connection at
yeah,
that
I
time.
lost connection. I just put hotspot on my phone.
Yeah, I think let's see if I can resend it.
Thank you.
Uh, All right, send it now. And also, can someone tell me, is there any other way we can write this domain? Because this looks a bit longer. Another way you can write it? You can put a chat if you want, or maybe you can tell me the answer. That's the easiest way rather than typing. There are certain things very hard to type on the chat, especially for maths. Or else you can just tell me. That's fine. And this is easy going, just talk to me. You can ask questions. We just discuss in troubles you have. Yeah. Is there any other way you can write this domain? Sanatmi, do you want to try? Because you're quiet recently. Any other way you can write? Hmm. You try.
I don't know. I wrote something. I don't know if it's right.
That's okay. Go for it.
Reals, excluding like
Hmm.
-1 to 1, but not including.
-1 to 1, so not including something like this. Let's see. That's correct. Yeah, it is. Because the reason is we actually try to keep the -1 and 1 within our domain, isn't it? So we just avoid everything in between them. So that's correct. So now, Lynn, that's good. So you did this way. I'll explain why it's not right there. But good to do differently. So you said this one. This is good. The issue in the second one, or the second one I wrote, it only excludes the -1 and the 1, not within the interval. But only thing is we don't need anything in between. But we need to keep the -1 and the 1. And also sometimes some students feel like to write this way. What does that mean? You exclude all the numbers within -1 to 1, and also you exclude the -1 and the 1. But we need them, isn't it? We can't exclude them. So this is correct if your graph is this. Is that clear? Because we don't need the -1 and the 1 for our answer. So we should exclude everything within as well as -1 and the 1. Okay, so that's good to understand different ways of writing it. And I'll draw maybe graph for this one as well, just for the understanding. So this one, it looks like you end up getting something like this. Bit of weird graph. So we need everything except -1 and the 1. Perfect. Just note things down, all the different options. Cool. All right. Next one is the easy one. Inverse. You know what the inverse means? To find what's the connection between the inverse and the original? Domain of the F is same as the range of the F inverse and vice versa, isn't it? This becomes domain of the F inverse. Ah, perfect. As a practice, can you try the question number 11? So a bit of the inverse. I'll probably give like 2 minutes just to get the answer. Let's see who's going to get the answer. I mean, these are tech-free, yes, and don't use calculator. So try not to. If you get the answer, you can put a little chat. We can check it out. I mean, first thing is find the inverse. How do you find the inverse? So this y is equals to 2x minus 3. Inverse means switch the x and y always, and so switch them. X is equals to 2y minus 3. X plus 3 equals to 2y. Y is equals to x plus 3 over 2. So that's the inverse. And then it's asking what? Composite of the original and the inverse. So it's a combination. Something to think. Let's see some answers. So then, composite of both of them. What's the composite means? So f dot f inverse means it's a f of f inverse, which is f of what's the inverse, which is the x plus 3 over 2. Okay. And then you sub this x plus 3 over 2 for the x on the equation here. That's f of x. So it looks like 2 bracket x plus 3 over 2 minus 3. See what's going to happen? Cancel the 2. X plus 3 minus 3 cancel again. So answer becomes just x. So the value is x. And that's what they're asking in the question to prove. Okay. This question, I'm not going to do it. That's just the simultaneous equations. But you can see that's more towards the literal equations. So literal means the symbolic form. Bit more steps involving, but once you revise the simultaneous, so you can try the same method. Okay, that's for homework. Are we all good? Shall we move on? Okay, first part is covered like more towards the functions. Question number 13. Yeah, you need to try it. You can use calculator, that's fine if you need it. It's a tech active. But I want you to think and try first. So read and tell me the method. I mean, if you understand the method, if you think this is the method, just let me know. So I'm happy to check the knowledge as well as discuss. This is not the common way of asking. Like mostly you notice the question they're asking. They're given the f of x, they're asking something else. So which is your reference always going to be f of x. But this time, they're given the f of x plus 1 and asking the x minus 1. Let's ask someone in the list. I'm going to ask from Rayon. Help me out. What do you reckon?
Since it's f of x plus 1,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to get f of x minus 1,
Mm-hmm.
you minus 2 from the first equation.
Minus 2 from the first equation. You mean the x squared plus 3x minus 2?
No. So like everywhere there's an x, it's x minus 2.
So everywhere x becomes x minus 2. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well done. If I explain a bit more onto it. So what he's trying to say, so in the question, we had something called f of x plus 1. So he want to do, replace the x with x minus 2. The reason, if I do so, so this x becomes x minus 2, which is x minus 2 plus 1. What's the answer? F of x minus 1. Is that what you need? Yes, it is. So simply, in the equation given, make your x becomes x minus 2. So which is in this question, all you have to do is replace your x with x minus 2. So x minus 2 squared plus 3 bracket x minus 2. Once you simplify, you'll get the answer. Let's expand fully and simplify. Answer is? No answer it. Probably take like, to get the answer, less than 1 minute for this one. You can't take more than that. You don't get the answer as B. Fully expanded. I'm not going to explain the expansion, yeah. So answer is B. So I believe you can get the answer. All right, transformations. I think they're easy. You know what they are, but sometimes even I notice when I mark the trial exams, I notice like still do a few mistakes here and there. How about as you think, just do question 14 and 15. The transformations. Either method you use. I know some different methods as well, but totally up to you. I want to see how you perform. So translation 3 to the right. And if they're given any order in the question, just follow whatever the order given. But if the question asks you to write down the transformations, you always use the DRT method or the Dr. T. Yeah. So dilations first, then the reflection, then the translation. At this stage, just follow the same order they're given. So translation of 3 units to the right. What's going to happen usually? The technique wise, write the equation y is equals to root x. And simply your x becomes x minus 4, which is y is equals to root x minus 4. And then 4 down as well. Oh, sorry, my bad. Is the 3 to the right. Not 4, 3. And then 4 down. So take away 4. Reflection on the x-axis. What's going to happen? If it's a reflection on the x-axis, the entire equation becomes minus. Which is, see, I'm writing with all the steps. If you know them, you can do them fast. That's fine. Minus 4. So before I go further, I'll expand my negative, which is y is equals to negative root x take away 3 plus 4. One more step. Dilation factor of 2 from the x-axis. If you say x-axis, your entire equation times it by 2. Say something like this. So again, expand. So negative 2 root x minus 3 and then plus 8. So that's your final answer. If you think you need a bit more revision for the transformation, that's the whole idea. When you're doing the questions today, and in your bond book, somewhere in one dedicated page, write down, okay, yes, I need to revise these ones a bit more. Or maybe I keep forgetting this one. Just put a little note or like just say the name. And once you finish the webinar, and then you can just mainly focus on those ones you realize. Because otherwise, without doing them, without going through them, we don't know whether we can do them or not. When you realize, at the same time, quickly note that down somewhere. Because you got plenty of questions as long as you know what to be revised. Because at this stage, you need to prioritize the work. You can't just do all the questions. You can't just do all the papers. You can't. Just try the ones you really want to do. And try the questions or the sections you really want to do. Okay, 14 is done. 15. What's this one? Translation. As a practice, can we try this question only using the point transformation? Point transformation means the coordinates, like x comma y. Which is start the question with the x comma y. What's the next step? Translate 1 to the right. Translate 1 to the right and 2 down. Which is what's going to happen. X becomes x plus 1 and y becomes y minus 2. And then reflection on the y-axis. So if it's a reflection on the y-axis, are we changing x or y? We're changing the x value. That's opposite, right? So reflection on the y-axis. So then it becomes negative x, negative 1, and then y minus 2. What's next? Dilation factor of half from the y-axis. And then what's going to happen? Also changing the x value. And so make sure do not get the reciprocal of the value or the factor. Why? We do get reciprocal of 1 over 2 if you do the function transformation, not the point transformation. So in this case, keep it as half. You times here x coordinate by half or divide by 2, which is, it looks like, I'll write it here maybe, negative x, negative 1 over 2, comma y minus 2. Any questions with that? Is that clear, all of you? So usually half becomes 1 over 2 becomes 2 over 1 if you do the equation or the function transformation. But if you do the point transformation, we never change that to the reciprocal. So keep it as the 1 over 2. And now, this is what we call the original. So usually we know, like, if you start from x comma y, if we do the transformation, we call them as the x dash, y dash. So this is your original, this is your image. And then in our question, we done series of transformation. What's the image? This is the image, isn't it? And that's why we call this one as the x dash and the y dash. Cool. So then let me write that down. So x dash is equals to negative x, negative 1 over 2. Y dash is equals to y minus 2. And all you have to do here, just make x and y the subject. What's the y equals to? You can find the y easily. Y dash plus 2. See? We found the y. And likewise, find the x from the other one. X is equals to, what's your answer? Negative 2x dash minus 1. If you rearrange properly. So what's the reason he found the x and y? Because the given equation that we didn't even look at it, it's in terms of the x and the y. Because you can't sub the x dash and the y dash. So we make x and y the subject, and now you can sub them in. So sub them into the equation. So this one, which is y dash plus 2 is equals to negative 2x dash minus 1 to the power 1/3. You can remove the dashes now, not a big deal. The equation is y is equals to negative 2x minus 1 power 1/3 minus 2. See? So this is the transformed equation or the image. But this method we call the point transformation. So you can't neglect this method because there are certain questions you noticed, they're given the coordinates rather than the equation. So you should know the point transformation to apply that. You can't just say, I might stick with the other method. You can for some questions, but not all. So if you're not familiar with that, so make sure go back to notes and try the point transformation. Okay, maths is like if you know the concepts clearly, just clear enough, not just the base, you should know the core as well. How to go deep into it, how to understand it, what if that happens? So how do I overcome? So that's how we're analyzing things for maths. Note that down. If anyone finish, just read the 16. I'm not going to start yet. And tell me what's the first thing we should do. And I'm probably going to ask from general for 16, okay? So everyone read, but general can tell me What's your plan? All right, General, what do you think? How do you start this question?
Honestly, honestly, I'm not actually sure.
By looking at the equation, like what does it looks like? What are you expecting? Is it linear? Is it what sort of graph you think? You think by looking at it?
I think there's gonna be bounds. There's gonna be yeah,
Is that a
there's gonna be like two.
yeah linear?
Yeah,
Is it
like two.
parabola? Is it a truncus? Is that square root function? Like what is it?
Oh, it's gonna be maybe a hyperbola.
Is it possible? Usually by looking at it, because mostly hyperbolas, you have
One of those. Yeah,
yeah, I mean no excess on the numerator, isn't it? But this time we do
yeah.
have. Maybe it's hyperbola, we don't know yet. So how do you analyze it? Anyone can tell me like how to analyze this? Any options we can try? Because these questions are all possible. So this is nothing new. So anyone, what do you think? You put a chat. Okay, this is the way I'm trying to do. Anyone? I'll give you like 10 seconds. Think. Anyone? What do you reckon? So by looking at the question or the equation, we can't say what the graph, but we can do something. Yeah, I heard that. Divide? Yes. So we can definitely do the long division. Why? There are a few scenarios for the long division because example, maybe I'll write something here just to understand. If you get a question, maybe x cubed plus 7x over x squared plus 1. Can you see in this question, the degree of the numerator is higher. So you can do the long division, definitely. How about this one? In this case, we have exactly same degree on the both of them. So still you can do the long division. X squared plus 1 divided by x cubed plus 7x. How about this one? And this one, denominator got the higher degree. So in that case, you can't do the long division. So these are the options. So you can clearly see you can do long division. Why? The powers are exactly the same. Long divided. So 4x minus 5 divided by 2x plus 1. So it becomes 2. Cancel, cancel. So you get the negative 7, isn't it? Minus 7. So final answer is 2 take away 7 over 2x plus 1. And now we can see what sort of equation is that, General? That's a, as we mentioned, it's become a hyperbola. I can rewrite it. It looks like negative 7 over 2x plus 1 plus 2. There you go. I mean, sketching you can do later. Because as long as you get the equation, you can clearly see the asymptotes. Y is equals to 2 and x is equals to negative 1 over 2. Sure, not the done. And then I want all of you to try the number 17. You can use the CAS. So next one, if x plus 2a is a factor, you know what's a factor and the remainder theorem, right? So factor means if you sub the, so what's the given value? X plus 2a. So x plus 2a make it equals 0, which is x is equals to minus 2a. So sub the negative 2a to the equation, and then the answer becomes 0. Because if it is a factor, if you sub the value, it becomes 0. You can use calculator, just sub it in. Answer is B, Ron. Yes, it is B. Perfect. Perfect. Talia, hello.
Oh, hello.
Good, good, good. We up to this question now. Yeah, but keep going. Yes, I think the next one I'll keep for homework. I think I did that question somewhere in the classes as well. I can't remember. Cool. Now let's move on. So 18 for homework. These are easy questions. Try the 19 and 20. Probably I'll give you 1 minute. These are easy. You probably know how to do them, but just want to see at least one question done. For those who won't try anything in those ones. I try to grab all the common sections you should know, even the basics. So turning point by completing the square. So maybe do the steps if you know it, and just for the chat, the turning point. Also at 10:30, we'll have 5 minutes break as well. You can, just stand up, walk around and come back. Otherwise you get bored just for 5 minutes. So 10:30, then back at the 10:35. Yeah, you don't need to reconnect or anything. Just stay there. So I try to break the sessions into 4 sessions. So 1.5 hours each. It's a long day, but make sure you get it done, then it's a good revision for the exams. So once you go through most questions today, you can keep your methods for 2 or 3 days away and do the rest. Because English is coming up for most of it. It is 29th, isn't it? 24th, so a few more days. All right, I can see the answer for the turning point, which is correct. -2, -18. So technique is you can't complete the square if you have a number or the sign at the front. So always take that out. If you're not sure, revise. Turning point, -2, -18. Have you all got anyone had troubles with it? Quadratic formula, you need to know by heart, which is x is equals to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And it's good to go back and revise the booklet that I did. Can everybody did one booklet for the exam 1 formula practice? The best thing is maybe reprint it or maybe carve up the answers and try if you can still complete the booklet without the notes. So in that case, you know all the basics you needed for the exam 1 to memorize. Okay. These are common questions. I just picked one question. Just want to go over it. We'll try the 21 as well together. 21. What's the method for these questions? Asking what's the value to get 2 solutions, 1 solution and the no solutions. So the method is do not start from the 1 solution. Let me write clearly. These questions, let's say don't start from the 1 solution. So you can do either two solutions or no solutions. I'll start with two solutions. To get two solutions, what's the condition? B squared minus 4AC must be greater than 0. Can you find the B squared minus 4AC for this question? All of you? Let's say AC equals to M, B is equals negative 2M, C is equals to 3. Let's sub it in. Factorize X values 0 and the 4. Sorry, 3 and 3, my bad. 4, 3. Okay, now, can you see like by looking at this one, it's a positive quadratic, yeah? So it's a sign diagram is something similar, positive. And then label the signs. So that's going to be plus, that's plus, and that's minus. And then based on the diagram, you can easily get the answers. So in this particular one, to get two solutions, what's the condition? Greater than 0, which is we're looking at where is it positive? Positive is less than 0 and the greater than 3. Yeah? So you can write the answer the first one. M is less than 0. M is greater than 3. And then very easy with the no solution. Has to be negative. So in between, see, once you draw the diagram, you can answer all the questions. That's why I said don't start from the one solution. To get one solution, what are the values? Anyone? One solution? What are the values? So I found the two solutions. I found the no solutions. How about one solution? I'll ask someone. Probably Mehul. What's the answer for the one solution? Usually, how do you find it? The two values we just found, which is the answers can be M is equals to 0 or M is equals to 3. See, it's the same values are rotating around. But be careful if you get one option as the M equals 0. And this is a very good question to understand this. Let me explain that, how it works. We assume that we got two answers, M equals 0 and M equals 3. Now, if you just analyze my equations, M equals 0 to be subbed into the equation, which is mx squared minus 2mx plus 3 equals 0. Can you sub M equals 0? What's the answer? 0 minus 0 plus 3 equals 0, which is what? 3 is equal to 0. Is that true or false? Is that true or false? Can 3 be equal to 0? No, really, isn't it? See? This particular answer, which is M equals 0, is not an option. Because when M equals 0, you can't have an equation. And also it's like undefined. That's why this option is away. This happens mainly, one of the answers becomes 0. If you get like M equals 2 and M equals negative 5, no issues at all. That's mainly for the M equals 0. I'm not going to say to always reject it. Double check it. If you have a proper equation, that's fine to keep it. Does it make sense? Because in case, like, imagine if the equation is something like this one. 7x squared plus 4x plus m. So in this scenario, if you make m equals 0, still fine, isn't it? But still it's a quadratic equation because m is only here. That's why if you see m equals 0, or the value is 0, double check by subbing in So to one solution, the only option is m is equals to 3. Can you write them down clearly? And after that, I'm going to give 5 minutes break for all of you. And we'll be back after 5 minutes. You don't have to disconnect or anything, just leave there. And just maybe stand up, walk around, otherwise, you get bored. Okay, so maybe we'll start the next question in 5 minutes. Okay.